try. Okay, recording. Hi everyone, we are starting our webinar, Making Science Real in Schools, Creativity and Innovations in STEM Classes in Bulgaria. So I'll start with a short presentation of the project, then we'll have a quick discussion section, and then we'll start with the presentations of Mr. Dimitar Zelev, Mr. Karavasilev, Ms. Teca Hristova, and Mr. Ivo Jokin. So is everyone able to see the presentation? I think you are seeing my presentation, yeah? Okay, yes. So actually the March network consists of 9 partners from 7 European countries. And it brings together key players in the field of science education and science communication. March is building a network for reflection and sharing the best practices in science education for secondary schools. Some of the key aims of the network and objectives are, first, to provide an overview of science education in secondary schools through scoping and comparative analysis, to apply science education practices and inquiry-based teaching to real-life issues, to encourage collaboration between policymakers, educators, science communicators, and learners, to challenge and enhance local science education practices at European and international level, to empower children to become more autonomous and motivated through the development of digital student-led content in pilot initiatives at schools, and to provide coaching to teachers as to build their confidence and skills in science education. This will provide an online dynamic learning environment for all key players in education. So, at the end of this 3-year project, the network aims to achieve the following. First, we'll have improved perception of science in secondary schools. We'll have increased numbers of young people who will choose a career in science. We'll have increased capacity and skills in teachers for engaging creatively with the students in scientific teams and for delivering innovative methodologies in the field. We also have improved policies for effective science education, and we aim to establish sustainable links with key European players in science education. So these aims will be achieved through a highly innovative process that involves several interlinked stages. First, we'll start with initial scoping analysis, a collection of best practices through desk research and interviews in partner countries. Actually, this is what we did, and the work is led by Forum Democracy, and the author of the survey is Dr. Todor. The analysis and its results are present. They are tested and they are enhanced through the workshops that took place in the 7 countries. Some of the key survey conclusions stress on the following. So, science education is still much more theoretically based than hands-on interactive practices. Secondary education is still related more closely to science-based world than to business and the industry. We also noticed that particular attention is required in training students how to recognize accurate information, especially in the online environment, because online environment is the primary source for the majority of students. The use of specialized science-related online resources is limited, and this is language barriers and teachers' training. We also noticed, and you can see it in the report, that public policies and public-funded programs need special focus on creating incentives for common STEM-related activities for family members, students, and their teachers. Then, our project involves 7 local innovation swap workshops and 3 international ones. The idea is for all the participants to debate on methodologies, on the best practices and ideas for projects that have experience in their schools, and finally we'll select 2 to 3 project ideas and methodologies that could make science attractive in schools. This would be our pilot activities in local and international schools for the next year. So during this stage, 7 countries presented their good practices on how to make science teaching more interactive, using inter-testing educational approaches in the classroom like learning by acting, creating models and video simulations, playing board games, working in groups in designing own real action scenarios on everyday life topics, using ICT and mobile applications for hands-on experience, using e-learning technologies for self-preparation and virtual examination of students. Some useful recommendations and conclusions based on this part of the project is that a lot of information is given to students, but in a boring way. Also, we noted that students are more interested in the practical application of science in their everyday life, and they are less interested on remembering facts or figures. Thus, it will be beneficial for the students to be mentored and get first-hand knowledge by experienced researchers and teachers in particular scientific areas they are interested in. Also, students prefer to combine the theoretical knowledge with more practical experiments. So, given this, it will be helpful to better encourage mutual learning between schools from different locations, as they can be tackling different scientific problems that reflect on their communities at the local level. Also, we need more science workshops, we need more festivals and other kinds of events, and we need them to be organized with the involvement of scientists, researchers, teachers, and students. Both teachers and students learn something new while visiting science festivals. Furthermore, teachers need to fill out-of-school activities into the curriculum, and we need more outdoor activities with teachers and students. And we have to focus on interdisciplinarity because it's crucial in nowadays society. So the curricula need to be changed and shaped to better promote these activities. And a final point, teachers should focus on the development of students' skills in order to be able to shape the way students are thinking. Students need to get more familiar with the scientific methods to be able to analyze and deal with facts. The teachers should be more focused on teaching the science logic to their students. That's why we are giving these webinars. So the webinars are addressed to teachers, trainers, and research staff from higher education from all over Europe. The aim of these webinars is to promote the exchange of experience and expertise for the best practices on teaching and learning STEM disciplines in all educational levels. So what will happen next year, after we have all the webinars concluded, we will make pilot events of all the best practices in all the partner countries. So this is done in order to activate innovation in classrooms. So the pilots are planned to take place by the end of the next year, by the end of 2016. They will be based on the outcomes of the previous stages of the project. They will be organized around some key axes that emerge from the local and international innovation swap workshops. The pilot's results will also fit into the policy recommendation paper for the March project that will be put together toward the end of March project. So, and our final aim, the March network is focused on the sustainability of its activities and outcomes. So our key outputs will be, first, a web platform to enhance communication, collaboration, e-learning, and mentoring for science educators and pupils. This webinar and the recording will also be available just after New Year's Eve. Second point, we'll try and we'll build a dynamic online community of practice-enhancing science teachers that will participate in all European science network. We'll also make a set of tools for implementing innovative science programs and pilots in schools. And we will give a set of recommendations for key decision makers on science in secondary education issues in science. So this is a short presentation of what March is all about, and you can check the webpage sciencemarch.eu for more details. And we have two minutes if you have any questions, or you can also reach us by email. So if you have any questions, you can ask right now. Well, let me check if there are not questions at this current stage. We will start with the first good practice, and this is the first Bulgarian Geographic Festival by Mr. Dimitar Zelev. So I'll ask him to say change slide whenever you need for me to change the slide, And Mitko, you have 7 minutes.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this invitation. I'm so glad to present our great achievement, in my opinion, and not only my opinion, the first Bulgarian Geographic Festival that happened in April 2015 in the city of Yambol, South Bulgaria. Vladi, please change. So the idea, we with the idea 2 years ago, wherein we students from Top University participated in similar festival abroad. So we decided to make Bulgarian version and to adapt it to the local specifics. Our first goal was to find enthusiastic people to get the team working and really enthusiastic for the final goal. We did the goals and we coordinated and organized all of the things related to the event. So, Vladi. So we met several digital and written obstacles during our work in the preparation and implementation of the festival. The first one was to find out the place which wants to that wants to host our event. So we spoke a lot with many people, different small communities, and the final was to select the city of Yambol in South Bulgaria, where we found really helpful people, people that really welcomed our idea. So basically, this was the beginning. Then we wrote down the agenda of the project. We got the timeline. I will show it in several seconds, and we started working. We created our plan how to make the event popular among the entire country, not only in the city of Yambol, not only in the capital city or in the neighboring towns and settlements, but to extend the whole idea as a national initiative. And we brought many schools around the country that participated. Also, we created the plan with the activities that will include there, that engage not only students but adults, university students, and our idea was to provide this communication to the different age levels. So the event was focused to big portion of the geography friends around the country. Also, we did great job with finding administrative and financial support. To be honest, in the very beginning, I was a little bit not so confident that we are going to attract many institutions in our idea, because the geographic festival sounds a little bit awkward. But at the very end, actually, we succeeded in our idea, and all of the local municipal and state organizations supported us. We got some companies interested in our activities, not only from the city of Yambol, but from Sofia. So we achieved big fund for the festival, and our participants received a lot of awards for their achievements. Of course, it wasn't so easy. Now, when I'm talking, it looks like it was like a one week or 1 day activity. Actually, it was quite complicated. All the way, we got many obstacles. I mean that surprisingly, the Ministry of Education of Bulgaria was the only state institution that didn't support us. We received support by many other institutions, but the Ministry of Education, they were a little bit conservative and also enthusiastic. They informed us that if we want to make such kind of festival, we need to inform them like in more than 1 year in advance to plan this and so on and so on. Anyway, we did it without the Ministry of Education, and I think it was great. Vladi, please change. So here you can see the working timeline in the upper right corner. So our work began in January with the first meeting that we got in Sofia. and all of the other way to the very end of the festival that happened in April 2015. You can see the different stages. Basically, we decided to work in the so-called bipolar working group. So we got a team in Yambol and a team in Sofia, and our goal was to coordinate our activities because the guys in Sofia were able in some aspects of the work, the guys in Yambol in other aspects of the work. So it was only in one place. So maybe this is one of the aims of geography, to expand ideas and invest space. So you can see the aspects of the work in Sofia, the know-how of the festival, the national media support, the design, IT support, and so on. In Yambol, we got the administrative support, accommodation, transportation, all of the facilities. Both of the centers were engaged in the financial support and the promotion of the festival. And I think that we succeeded in working together. Usually it's hard to work not in one place, but I think we did it. Bloody. So here are the organizers, the geographic website, educational website, Geographic BG, which I'm representing right now. The local math high school, Autonomous Project in the city of Yambol. We have one student from the school now enrolled in the webinar, and many other institutions that supported our idea. All of us, we did what we could. Vladi. So as a result, we got 20 schools from Bulgaria representing different cities, and not only cities, even a village. And also we got the university students and many individuals, teachers, young scientists, PhD candidates, and even some retired school teachers. Many different guys decided to come in Yambol and to join the Geographic Festival. Got it. So here you can see the poster of our agenda. We made it in 2 days. The first day was with the official opening ceremony. We got a big team geographic competition. We had several exhibitions that were running simultaneously through the whole event. So during the breaks, the participants had the chance to see the exhibitions, which were actually designed by students from the local schools in the city of Yambol. It was interesting. We got several panel presentations from famous geographers, and the idea was these professionals to show to the students how interesting geography is, what are the outcomes of the geographic studies, and so on. On the second day, we had another panel of competitions, this time individual competition with the field trips and things that were never been done in Bulgaria so far. We decided to implement a format that engaged fun and science that were unknown so far for the Bulgarian students. And I consider this as something like a great contribution to the geographic life in Bulgaria, let's say this way. And the second day finished with a big field trip in the surroundings of the city with famous natural and archaeological sites located in the Kabyle region. Also, we got 2 contests that were running before the festival, the so-called pre-festival event. We got the National Student Photography Contest, but not only for beautiful photography, but photography that shows science, the geographic science captured. And also we got the National Teacher Essay Contest, again based on the idea of geographic education and science.
Okay.
So here you can see some aspects of the agenda. We got the serious stuff, we got the fun stuff, all of them trying to be balanced very well and to be really engaging and something meaningful for the kids and their teachers. Our idea was to motivate the teachers to work additionally with kids in extracurricular activities in order to make them real science with geographic science. Bloody. So this is the opening. Here you can see some notable guys from the state organization, Sofia University, and so on, and the kids in the back. The next slide is with some pictures of the ceremonies. The best kids received the medals and special awards, and here you can see some of the winners. Yep. And so this year we're really willing and we are going to organize the second Geographic Festival, this time in a different city. It will be in the city of Kazanluk. Our idea is to organize the Geographic Festival in the way how the Olympic Games work. Every year to be in a different place, because we don't want to be stuck only in one place. We want to expand the idea in the different regions of the country. So we are so far working hard on the organization of the second Geographic Festival, and we already decided to change the name, and it's going to be National Geographic Festival. So you will be invited, of course.
Thank you very much, Mitko. So before I give the words for questions to all the other participants, two questions from me. So it's amazing how much work you have done. I forgot to mention that Mr. Dimitar Zhelev is assistant professor at the university. He is a well-known science communicator, part of the FameUp community, experienced teacher in high schools, and he's the founder of geograph.bg, the best site for free news from geography around the world in Bulgaria. So you can check his website if you have free time. Then I have two questions for the festival. You said that the ministry is involved, so what kind of recommendations would you propose for activating the Ministry of Education? So how to change the policy makers' ideas about such events?
Oh, that's a hard question. Honestly, I think that with the time our festival will become so famous and prosperous, let's say, and the ministry itself will be interested to join, and it will happen sooner or later. Maybe the institutions they need a different perspective, different glance how to look at the small projects. Usually they are so busy with the big picture of educational programs and the new trends and European Union and so on, and they do not focus on the local achievements. Maybe they should organize a special department that works for these small projects, and in order to develop them. Yeah, that's my suggestion.
Thank you. And my second question is about the older teachers. You said that older teachers, this is a very interesting target group. So how did you motivate these teachers who are retired to participate?
Actually, we didn't put any specific effort on this to attract them. They came voluntary. The agenda that we organized was so interesting for them, and they did this. So far, I think that it would provide interesting opportunities for teachers without separating them to old or young for teachers, because teachers, everyone who teaches, let's not separate teachers by age or gender or whatever, they will be attracted. So the way is to provide opportunities, and the things will happen.
Thank you so much. So if all the other participants have questions, please do ask right now. Okay, no more questions, I see. Okay, so then I will change. You can, of course, you can ask Mr. Zhelev afterwards as well, because we have a final discussion in the final 15 minutes of the meeting. So if you have questions after all the presentations, it's okay to ask them afterwards. So now we'll move to Mr. Nikola Karavasilev. He's a PhD student at Sofia University, Bulgaria, part of the Department of Astronomy at the Faculty of Physics, and he's also a very known science communicator. He's one of the lecturers at the Children's Science Museum, Muzejko, and he's also one of the persons who is training the teams who are competing in the astronomy and astrophysics Olympic Games. So, Nicola, please, can you start your presentation? You have 7 minutes.
Okay, hi everybody. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
So my name is Nicola, and it's a great pleasure for me to present you my, let's say, informal activity in astronomy for highly motivated high school students. Next slide. So what are my goals? First of all, I would like to inspire the young people, especially the talented high school students, to explore the space, to consider a career in the astronomy, in the astrophysics, in all the space-related sciences. I do this by preparing them for participation in different kinds of national and international Olympiads and all excuse me, and all kinds of competitions in physics and in astronomy. And last but not least, it is really a very great pleasure for me when I see that I have created a friendship between the students, because actually they meet during my lessons and they become friends. And sometimes I'm sure that they would never meet if my activity did not exist at all. Next slide, Vladi. Okay, it all began in October 2006, almost 10 years ago, during my first week as a university student. Me and my very good friend Nikolai Kacharov, who is actually one of the most successful young Bulgarian astronomers nowadays, we wanted to be involved somehow in the National Olympiad of Astronomy. Excuse me. And this is why we decided to start, how to say, to give lessons to talented students and to prepare them for the National Olympiad in Astronomy. Yeah, we wanted to make them champions. And we started we started our lectures in the beginning of October 2006 in the Faculty of Physics of Sofia. And 1 year, actually 2 years after that, our first student won a silver medal in the International Olympiad of Astronomy. Next slide. Yeah, here you can see a picture of the main entrance of the Faculty of Physics of our university. This is the place where our lessons took place, and this is the building where I'm working now as a PhD student. Next slide, Vladi. So today, unfortunately, Nikolai is not working with me because he is now living in Germany, where he is doing his first postdoctoral study. But during the last 5 years, I started sorry, I started not only astronomy but also physics lesson for very motivated high school students. We prepare for all kinds of competitions in physics and astronomy, and actually in all the other natural sciences, as you will see later. Well, we participate regularly in all the competitions which we have in Bulgaria, and not only in Bulgaria actually. We also make experiments and astronomical observations. Actually, our last observation was approximately 1 week ago, when we observed the meteor showers of Geminids. Here on this picture, you can see one, let's say, hologram which we prepared for the International Young Physicists Tournament. It was 2 years ago, using just a compact disc. Yeah, next slide. So here you can see my team with who I participated in the Science on Stage Festival. It was slightly more than a year ago in the town of Siglievo. Well, our project was about the demonstration of physical phenomena using everyday materials. So our goal was to show the people, to the guests of the festival, that the very complicated optical phenomena could be demonstrated using very everyday materials, which we all have in our homes and even in our kitchens. And our project was selected to be presented on the International Science on Stage Festival in London this year. Next slide, sorry. Yeah. So here you can see my students observing the partial solar eclipse, which was visible from Bulgaria in the end of March this year. Actually, they observed the eclipse, and they also explained to the citizens, because the observatory was open for all citizens, what they see. So this is how I would like to make them science communicators from very early age. Next slide. And of course, me with my students with their Olympic medals. So this picture was taken in China in 2009 year, when was the first time when I led the national team of astronomy of Bulgaria. Actually, next to me, this is one guy having 3 golden medals from the International Olympiad of Astronomy. He is actually not from Sofia, he's from Russia. But I was one of the people teaching him. Okay, next slide. And this is the so-called International Young Naturalist Tournament, which is a tournament similar to the International Young Physicist Tournament, but not only in physics, he is in all natural sciences. So in 2014, it took place in Bulgaria, in Kyustendil, and the team representing our country and prepared partially by me won the first prize there. So, and this is a picture of the team. Okay, next slide. So you can find us on Facebook, but unfortunately our Facebook page is in Bulgarian. I hope you speak it. And yeah, Kolyu, it's me. It's my nickname, of course. So just write Kolyu ECA in Google, in Facebook search, and you will find our page. And next slide. And what are my future plans? So during the next year, I hope that I will be able to create a laboratory of physics and astronomy in the room in the physical faculty where I work. So for this purpose, I will use, maybe you know, my prize, which I was given by the financial group of Karol. And next slide. And thank you for all your attention.
Thank you very much, Nicola. Actually, this is a great achievement what you are doing with the young people. So actually, can you just we can start with a short question. What are the challenges that you face working with young people, and what are the challenges for preparing young people for such international Olympics?
Well, first of all, okay, what are the challenges? So, first of all, okay, I'll be honest. The first challenge is that the level, let's say, of education in mathematics and in physics in the standard Bulgarian school is unfortunately very low. And this is why sometimes I see really very, very clever student, but having almost no no knowledge in physics, let's say, just because the curriculum in physics and in mathematics is actually very, very bad. So this is our first challenge. The second one is that in Bulgaria we almost don't have any equipment for laboratory work in physics. So this is why I would like to have my own laboratory. Actually, it has been my dream for, let's say, more than 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And actually, I saw that Lily asked you a question over the chat about the Facebook group. So maybe when we finish your presentation, you can send all the participants in the chat. Maybe you can send the Facebook link directly. It would be very nice. And one more final question. So what happens to these students after they finish high school? Because these Olympics are for high school students. So do they stay in Bulgaria? Do they move abroad? Are they going to come back? So what's your experience? And do you have some suggestions to policymakers about the treatment of these Olympic winners?
Okay, that's a good question, really. Well, the majority of them, they got first to study abroad. And the most of them, they want to have a career in the natural sciences. So, and I'm sure that really, let's say, 70% of them will become really a great scientist someday. And yeah, really, some of them would like to come back to Bulgaria.
Okay.
Because they're following my how to say, my example.
That's very good, very good. So thank you very much, Nicole. And well, of course, you can continue speaking with Nicole during the discussion. So I'll give 2 minutes for all the other participants to ask questions to Nicole, if you have questions. Okay, maybe you're writing all the questions for the final session, or you can reach Nicola in the Facebook group or by mail. So no further questions, okay? And we are going to hear the presentation of Ms. Teta Hristova. Actually, she is a senior teacher of physics in the Vocational Secondary School of Computer Technologies and Systems in the city of Pravets. And this school is affiliated to the Technical University at Sofia. Ms. Hristova has experience in the management of 3 European Comenius projects, and she is the representative, the scientific ambassador for Bulgaria. So, Ms. Hristova, please, the stage is yours. You have 7 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Did you hear me?
Yes, yes, we hear you. Yes, we can hear you, Teta. You can start. Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, Teta. Yeah, you can start, Teta. Okay, I'll just stop sharing the screen for a second just to check if there is a problem with the voice. Okay, so okay, just for a second, stop sharing, and then just see Teta. Okay, so Teta. Okay. Okay.
Must be is closed. You must open my microphone.
Yes, yes, it's open. It's open, and I will make you a presenter right now. So now I'm giving you presenter privileges. So I think everyone can hear you now, and I will share my screen again. Okay. So okay. Okay, sorry. So okay. Now my screen should be sharing. Okay, this is my screen. Sorry, this is my screen. Okay, Teta, we can hear you. You can start.
Okay. I will speak about Project Scientix and European SchoolNet as an example of good practice and attractive STEM education. A few words about European SchoolNet was established as non-government organization. You can next slide.
Okay.
Next slide. Yes. This is established as a non-governmental organization of 31 now Ministry of Education in Europe, which provides major European educational portals for teaching, learning, and cooperation. You can see on the previous slide a lot of projects, European SchoolNet projects. Yes, it is Ingenious, Scientix is also European School project, net project. We tested some of them as Ingenious projects, Explore, UFO Energy, non-opinion items is as destinational course, this year, and a lot of them. Next slide. European SchoolNet have a lot of projects, and you can see different on the previous slide different projects. So I will speak about one of very important projects is Scientix project. Scientix project is portal. It is portal where is uploaded material from different European projects from by 6, 7 frame program like Comenius, eTwinning, and other financed from European Commission projects. So it is a very important portal because we can navigate on different languages. You can see 8 languages. You can see that you can search uploaded projects by name, by resources. You can looking for news, for events. You can use community link to discuss for different problems in education. You can find a lot of very quality discussions. There was uploaded material from 2 very important European SchoolNet Scientix conference. This is first Scientix conference and second Scientix conference. There is a lot of other interesting links. You can put your email to receive Scientix Digest for every 2 weeks for news from Scientix. And this is a very important project because it is project not only for teachers. This is project for all people on educational looking for good education, all stakeholders, and there is very good model course for different new practice methodologies in education, and one of very important Also activity of scientific project and European Schoolnet eminent conference. It was expert meeting in educational networking. The last one was last month in Barcelona, and one of the very important thing shared between different presenters was that we must put science education in long life learning, and we must start science education from kindergarten and before kindergarten. So small children must start thinking about science, and later they will be more good in science. You can see on the last pictures, Bulgarian team participated in any conference. Next slide.
Okay.
One very good practice is future classroom. Everybody visited European Schoolnet. You can see future classroom. Also, there is available a lot of courses. Everybody can apply to participate on this training. There is very interesting 6 different zones, and you can see different zones with pictures. Students situation classroom is not as normal as Bulgarian school. It's very interesting, and students can make different programs and later can test by using Lego program.
Okay. Ivo, please, can you mute your microphone, because can everyone mute their microphone so we can hear just Teta, and then we can unmute them for the science question. Sorry, Teta, you can continue.
Okay, next slide. I will share it here some of the previous slide, maybe. Okay, next.
This one?
This one.
Okay.
I show you some of good practice from uploaded at scientific portals, of course, and this is science project, very interesting. LHAO project, how to use South G for measuring dimensions of astronomical objects is one of Moodle courses, and you can find on Moodle training on the right side of scientific webpage. Go-Up project is very important project too. There is virtual laboratory for different projects, but also for different subjects, but also there is remote labs with the Fox telescopes, and because there is a lot of astronomical people, you can look at this web page and you can ask for using Fox telescope. It is free for teachers. And very important for Go-Up project is there will be competitions. The deadline is at the beginning of April, and every teacher from European country can participate, and only 2 teachers from every country will be accepted to go to some school in Greece. Maybe will be in marathon.
Can you finish in 1 minute? Can you finish in 1 minute, because we'll be running late?
Okay.
So everyone.
I was listed all the different but interesting projects, which is very good practice, and also it is projects which students can study by researching different materials online and testing. And next slide. Here is some astronomical graphs. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Here is very interesting material, and also I show you Scientix web page and my blog. A lot of my presentations during different events was uploaded here, so you can look at this.
Thank you very much, Tetsa. Actually, Tetsa is one of the reasons that we are hosting the webinar here on Scientix. So many thanks to you from all the Forum Democrats team. And I have one very quick question. So, how do you think how Scientix is helping to get all the projects involved? So, do you have any recommendations how to make the involvement between different projects on a better level? I mean, how to make? Do we need more meetings, more webinars, or how to provoke meetings? Yes.
I think that we need more webinars, more live meetings between us. I think during astronomical and physics conference we must share our ideas and also. Very important is student support, because we can doing something, but if students dislike this, we can have success.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any other questions for Tetsa, please remember these for the Q&A session. And remember, you have to unmute your microphone for the final session so we can hear you. But now it's time for our last presentation, and it will be by Mr. Ivo Jokin. So he's a science teacher and director at the Municipal Center for Extracurricular Activities at the Municipality of Dolna Mitropolia in Bulgaria. He is the coordinator for Bulgaria, Galileo ambassador of the Galileo Teacher Training Program. He is also the dissemination partner for many European projects. He is leader and very famous for the Astro Party project in Bulgaria. I'm very happy that I was one of his lecturers. So please, Ivo, the stage is yours. You have 7 minutes. Ivo, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Vladimir, for this invitation. My name is Ivo Jokin. First, I apologize for this audio problem, but my colleague, very good physics colleague, Bojidar Cepanov, cannot participate. I will send after webinar information about webinar. So, in description of the work, I presented my experience in organizing and conducting of school and extracurricular activities with students, used form and work methods, results, and some good practice in science education. Also organizing and conducting scientific festivals, participation in common projects with scientific organization. Next slide, Vladimir. Yeah, thank you. The students need competence and skill that will help them in the dynamically changing world to think in a constructive way and to be creative. We know this is fact in Europe and our country that education of nature science, not only physics, astronomy, nature science, in the secondary education is the decreased interest for the training in them, and particularly in physics and astronomy. In many countries, there is a drop of the orientation of the pupils toward the science and technique. We know this is problem, science and technology. Next slide. This is my municipal center for extracurricular activities. We have Rainbow Painting School, the new Ecology Club, Authentic Folklore Group, Kalushari, of course, Astro Club. I work with pupils from our all 8 municipality school, about 200 students from 1st grade to 12th grade. Great. Next slide, Vladimir. This is a very, very interesting and useful project, Festival Wonders, with Professor Mats Holm, Uppsala University, Sweden, Bulgarian Academy of Science, British Council, of course, Forum Democrit, participants, students and teachers from District 11, about, I remember, 60 students and teachers from our District 11. Next slide. In 2012, we have Water Champion Europe Municipal Center for Extracurricular Activities. I received grant and give this grant with laboratory, mobile laboratory for our municipality school, and during 29th of June, this International Danube Day, we are organizing workshop with teachers and students. I give this laboratory analysis of water with this mobile laboratory, dissolved oxygen, for example, pH, heavy metals. Next slide. The main activities, this is Astro Party. In 2040, we celebrated 10 years Astro Party Baikal. We started with one telescope and great enthusiasm. During these years, they involved about 400 students, 144 teachers, many lectures and guests, many participants. Participants have won medals in national and international competition in astronomy, some of them currently studying in prestigious Western University and Science Choice Density. Next slide, Vladimir. We used different learning methods. In field, of course, constructivist learning, inquiry-based science education, learning by doing, teamwork, another method in constructivist learning. We have first science lecture. After that, we have star workshop. We make with hands available materials, for example, next slide, for example, yeah, this is organizer, Ministry of Education and Science, National Children's Powers, Regional Education Inspectorate, partners, Union of Astronomers in Bulgaria, Sofia University Facility of Physics, Institute of Astronomy in Bulgaria, Academy of Science, Institute of Electronics, Astronomy Association, Sofia, international partner, International Astronomy Union, European Association for Astronomy Education, GTTP Galileo Teachers Training Program, UNAVI, Universal Awareness. This event included for a 7th time in the national calendar for extracurricular activities of the Ministry of Education and Science. Next slide. This is main aims. Rising students' interest in astronomy and watching space, growing interest in physics knowledge, especially in astronomy, providing a suitable environment for developing teacher and students' creative and intellectual skills. Next slide. Learning by doing, for example, how to make model of solar system or Jupiter and Galileo satellites. Study start for all. This is very interesting for students who have eye problem. Next slide. This is stellar workshop, I says, for this main activity during Astro Party. Out of young astronomer, of course, practical activity, solar watching. Next slide. Classroom under the stars. We using mobile application, for example, on protractor, how to turn students' mobile phone into quadrant. We participate in Globe and Night using mobile application, practical activities during this classroom under the star, using CCD camera observation of the moon, visual driving moon, draw the moon. Very, very interesting for students. They feel like students under the star, not in classroom. Next slide. During Astropark, we organize a crowd table and training of science teacher. This is very important in the idea to exchange good practice between teachers from our country. Next slide. Under the stars of the Danube, before observing session, we have presentation of astronomy, astropoetry, exhibition, also rock concerts. Next slide. This first for Bulgaria UNAVI workshop, very, very interesting. My students producing this complex because one complex is expensive. We produce with my students 25, I remember. Next slide. 2040, we receive grant from International Astronomy Union, Office of Astronomy for Development. I give 24 Galileo scopes for 24 schools for all country. We see workshop. Next slide. 2015, let there be light. This is main theme in Astropark related International Year of Light and Light-Based Technology. Nice, very nice activity, very fun activity with students and teachers. Next slide. This is very, very interesting project. Space awareness. You can check information, you can see internet site. We have 4 educational kits, Our Wonderful Universe, Our Fragile Planet, Islamic Heritage Kit, Navigation Through the Age. During this 3-year project, we will be started very nice, interesting and useful workshop for teacher. So the teacher can check this internet site. Next slide. The project Moonbones, we integrated art with science and astronomy. For example, this is only 10 pictures from drawing from all the world. 2 of these pictures, Observatory Rosen and Valea Balkanska, sent to the moon with project Daniela de Paulis. Very, very interesting, with a radio telescope, Dwingelo in Holland. Next slide. Yeah, conclusion is very important to, for example, to communication with scientists, the scientists at the classroom. Next slide.
So, Ivo,
for your attention.
Yes. Thank you very much, Ivo. It's amazing what effort, how much effort, and what a big amount of work you have done. So, actually, I have 2 questions, and we'll start the questions and answer session. So, please, everyone, you can unmute your microphone so we can hear you. Now it's an open discussion. I'll start with 2 questions. So, Ivo, you are working with many ethnic minorities. And the Mars project and the European education aims to be open to all. So what are your suggestions based on your experience how to incorporate more ethnic minorities, and do they need special treatment, and how to incorporate them?
Yes, thank you. This is a very interesting question. I have experience first. I started my work when as a young teacher, 1990 year, yeah. During 10 years, we have the, how to say, internat for minority students from ethnic and Roma community. So important for these students to give them chance, for example, with hands-on activities, with available materials to see beautiful science. For astronomy, for example, I bring my telescope on the street when good, clear, and visible night. Immediately, all people and students going in square, for example, in village, because I work in a very small village, they're very happy when I organizing, for example, these astronomy activities. You give chance every child, every student.
Thank you.
Hardly work with them.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And then the second question is, how do you make the PR of your events? How do you invite people? Do you have meetings for example, do you have webinars or internet? How do you popularize your events?
I popularizing my event with traditional online, of course. Mailing list. I have mailing list with teachers from all Bulgarian. Using I have Facebook, my Facebook page, Ivo Jokin, and Municipal Center for Extracurricular Activities. This is second page. Regularly I post very interesting information and future event.
Thank you. So now everyone can ask any of the presenters any question, but I just please you after the questions, please go to this link to our Google form with our feedback for this webinar. It's very important for us in order to make the experience better. So if you have questions, you can ask them, and then please go and fill our survey. We'll be very thankful. We won't share this information with anyone, but it will go to the decision makers at the EU. So it's very important to fill the form. Now, please ask your questions. You have to unmute your microphone just in case if you haven't done this. And I saw an option that can be done during this webinar. So Ivo, you said that AstroPart is part of the calendar of the Ministry of Education, and Dimitar Zhelev said that his Geography Festival is not part of the calendar. So maybe you can exchange ideas. So Ivo, how did you make the event part of the calendar, and how to help Dimitar make the dialogue with the ministry at a better level?
Yeah, this is good idea. Yeah, I will give you, Dimitar, information how to organizing and conducting and organizing necessary documentation. For example, yeah, you must, Mitko, you must have 10 participating, 10 different regions from Bulgaria, minimum 10. Send necessary information about activities, about participants, this is information you must send to National Palace of Children, Director of National Palace of Children. And deadline is 30 of June, yeah. 30 June.
Okay, so if you have any other questions, all the other participants, you can ask them right now. So I'll stop sharing the screen in order for you to see the website. And well, I see that Victoria is muted, so I'll unmute everyone. So now, okay, now everyone can speak. I'm opening all microphones. Okay, so all microphones are unmuted right now. So you can, we can hear you. can hear everyone. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Victoria, we are hearing you. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I don't have questions.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yes.
you said you don't have questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have any more need for more information, you can reach us on the website of Forum Democratic. You can do our questionnaire. That's part of the invitation letter. Thank you very much for joining us. You will have this video recording posted over the internet just after New Year's Eve. So this is all from our webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. Thanks many thanks to our wonderful. And please see sciencemarch.eu for further news about the March project. And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's Eve. Thank you very much. And I'm closing this meeting. So thank you. Okay, I think it's